Yes, yes, everybody. Yes, yes, yes. Can you guys hear me? Yes, today we are talking my favorite films for every year since I was born. I was born in 1992, everybody. Welcome to 101 at 7. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited you guys could be here. Yeah, we're gonna let some people roll on in here. We're gonna let that take place. During that interlude, or whatever you want to call it, intro, I was eating some trail mix just to kind of, fill the stomach because I haven't had dinner yet. I'm gonna be eating after this live stream. And I am drinking out of a lovely King of Hearts cup because I am the King of Hearts. No, I'm just kidding. That's lame. But I am drinking a strawberry banana smoothie. So I'm excited, guys. Let's see. Let's go to the chat room. Let's see. Who do we got here in the chat room? Oh, we got Aaron Harris. Remember to grab a drink or some dinner since it's 5 p.m. this time. Get comfy and have fun. Yeah. So normally, obviously, 101 at 7 takes place at 7. But unfortunately, I had to push it forward, although some would say it's backwards, but I think it's forward. Push it forward to 5 p.m. Just because I got some plans going on later tonight. So I didn't want, excuse me, I didn't want the live stream to kind of, interfere with any of that stuff. So we're doing it at 5, guys. And unfortunately, we're not going to be taking a break for this one, just because I feel like there's so many films that we have to talk about. So yes, this is a film live stream. I know some people love it when I do film live streams or just talk about film, and that's totally cool. I'm down for that. But don't always expect that every live stream will be a film live stream, because I'm trying to expand my horizons. But I am excited for this one because wow. Talk about, this is an ambitious list. And this isn't even a top 10 list. This is like a top, it's 27 list or something, because I am 27. Or 26, I think, because I'm not counting 2020. Anyways, no, it is 27. I think it's 27 films we're going to be talking about tonight. Every film since 1992. My favorite for each year since 1992. So unfortunately, if you guys know me, I missed it by one fucking year, because obviously in 1991, Terminator 2 Judgment Day came out. So if I was born in 1991, it is safe to say Terminator 2 Judgment Day is my favorite film of 1991. But I can't list it here. I can't bring up a lovely graphic to the right of me, because I was not in 1991. I was not on the face of the earth in 1991. So they tell me. I don't know. I wasn't there. And even when I was, quote unquote, let me get in frame here, quote unquote, born, I don't know. Do you guys ever think about that? I definitely think about that a lot. I think about, if you really stop and think about it, all we're doing is we're trusting people, right? We're trusting that, oh yeah, they're telling me the truth. I was born in, let's say my case, 1992. I'm trusting people. I don't remember when I was born. So it's funny, like if anybody asks, something of like along those lines, like when were you born, or your parents are awesome, or whatever, whatever's the case is, I'll usually joke around. I'll be like, I was born in 1992, so they tell me, and I don't even know if they're my real parents, like I'll joke around just because that's how I roll. Aaron says, "Hey, I have that shirt. Very cool. This is a great shirt." Yeah, I was going through my closet. I was like, we're doing a movie live stream. We got to wear a movie shirt. I have a few in there, and I landed on this one because I haven't worn this one in a while. So, and I like yellow. I don't know. I think I pop in yellow. But anyways, Palmer, seems like a minor inconvenience that you weren't born a year earlier. I'm sure you know which movie I'm talking about. Dude, that's crazy. I was not even looking at the chat room when you said that. So yes, thank you. We are on the same page. Yes, I would have definitely talked about Terminator 2, but unfortunately, I was born in 1992. Legitimately excited to have this discussion. Yeah, man, me too. I'm really looking to this talk. By the way, Palmer, did you make my coffee today, or did someone else make my coffee when I came through? It was bomb. It was, sometimes it's hit or miss. If we're being completely honest, it was really good today. So if you made it, thank you. If you didn't make it, thanks for taking the order correctly. At least it's a little weird seeing you wear something that isn't that same Arnold shirt. Yeah, that same Arnold classic. I love that shirt. I have had that shirt for so many years. It's crazy how long I've had that shirt, how faded. I mean, I go back, to the I guess the beginning of that shirt. Man, those colors pop. And it just is it's crazy what happens when you put it through the wash every time, every time. Definitely goes to show you that stuff just gets sucked right out. I did not, but I took your order. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, it's a little tricky to out who's taking the order. So, uh, on my end at least, I don't know if it's obvious that it's me. Well, you guys have a camera, so you guys can see who's ordering. But anyways, it was awesome. So appreciate it. All right, guys. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into this because we have no time to lose. So, obviously, and if you're watching this after the fact, please 100% feel free, leave your list down below, leave your movies from the year you were born. You were born in like 1935, because you got a long ass list to write. So, really quickly, to reiterate, we're going from 1992 to 2019 because 2020 is not over. And when it comes to movies, 2020 is kind of so. Having said all of that, guys, I'm going to take a swig of my strawberry banana smoothie. Cheers. Here we go. We're diving into this one. Oh, I love strawberry banana. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to put the chat room aside for just a second. And we are going to dive into this bad boy. Here we go. I got it piled up right here, starting obviously at 1992. Do I do a drum roll? That's going to get old real quick. 27 times. No, I don't think I'm going to do a drum roll. I don't want you guys to get sick of the drum roll. So we're going to just go right in. 1992, from January 1st, 1992 to December 31st, 1992. What is my favorite film? The film that I elected. And yes, I did have to go back through lists. I had to go back through, I went on Letterboxd. I went on all these places to, figure out, how many movies were released that year. And then, of course, the ones I've seen. So, disclaimer, I have not seen every film every year since my birth, obviously. I'm probably going to shock some people with some of the stuff I'm picking, but I think they're pretty solid choices. So here we go. For my favorite film from 1992, we got Home Alone 2, Lost in motherfucking New York. No, it's called Lost in New York. Can you imagine if it was called Lost in motherfucking New York? But look at that poster. Wow. Look at little Macaulay Culkin. Look at him. Was I even aiming right there? Wow. Look at little Macaulay Culkin right there. Anyways, I love Home Alone, right? I love Home Alone. I think Home Alone is my preferred out of 1 and 2. But I do love me some Home Alone too. They're a good 1 and 2 kind of combo. Obviously, around the Christmas time, I don't watch these movies any other time of the year because they are Christmas movies. But I went through the list of 1992 and I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's just I was scanning. And then, of course, my mind was processing, okay, seen it, haven't seen it, seen it. And then, of course, some of them stand out, right? So when you're going through a list and you're trying to come up with this stuff, it just pops. It's just like, oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. There's no question about it. I mean, that's my favorite film from that year. I love Home Alone too. I just love the fact that this shit happened again. I mean, damn. Like, he went through this in one film and now he has to go through it again in another film. Although he has to, obviously, because it's a sequel, you have to up the ante. So now it has to take place in a giant city, Lost in New York. One reason why I don't like this film as much as the first Home Alone is it's actually not even necessarily a true Home Alone movie, if you think about it. Just based off of the title, he's not at home, right? He's not at home. He's in New York City. So it's just a little minor nitpick. I love the vibe of this film, though. I really, really love the vibe of the film. So fun. I love the fact that the family is coming to Orlando, Florida, right? They're coming to Orlando. So that's pretty cool. Another little nitpick I have with this film is that bird lady. Ugh, I hate that little subplot of the bird lady. You know, obviously she takes place of that old man from the first film that everyone's like afraid of. Remember that guy? She's essentially that character again, right? That kind of teaches Macaulay Culkin's character, Kevin McAllister. Kevin. Anytime I hear the name Kevin, I always say that. Kevin. But yeah, I don't like that bird lady. So if I were to make a fan cut of Home Alone 2, I would cut her ass right out of it. So that is my favorite film from 1992. I'm going to do a couple films, right? I'm going to do a couple, and then I'm going to go to the chat room, couple, go to the chat room, couple, go to the chat room. So I can't see the chat room right now. So if anyone else has joined, welcome, hello. You just caught the beginning of the stream, so don't worry. But we're going to, because there's a lot of films we have to talk about. So for 1993, this is, I don't know, this is like, it's funny how certain years, this was a real fun thing to figure out and realize that, you know, certain years are weak. You know what I mean? Like there's some weak years for film. And then, of course, there's those really popular ones like after 1993. A lot of people argue 1994 is like, Jesus Christ, power year. 1999 as well. There's even a book called 1999, the best year ever for movies or something. 1993, not so much. So anyways, my favorite film from 1993, imaginary drum roll, just want to run that thing into the ground. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? With, I mean, just the fact that it stars two of the most powerful actors working today at the beginning of their careers. That's something that's so amazing. You have Johnny Depp in a role that, this isn't one of my favorite Johnny Depp roles. You know, he's good, but there's this really, really cool little bit of tidbit where when he finished this film, he actually almost quit acting because he did not have, like, he was just in a bad headspace. You know what I mean? Not even saying that his experience on this film was bad. It might have been, but from my understanding, he was just in such a bad headspace that when he made this film, it just, you know, it just didn't do it for him. And then he almost quit acting, but the following year, 1994, he worked with Tim Burton again on Ed Wood, and that just reignited his passion for acting. So, What's Eating Gilbert Grape is anchored by Leonardo DiCaprio's incredible. This is my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio performance. Incredible. And he was nominated for an Academy Award, but I believe he lost to Tommy Lee Jones. What was it, from The Fugitive? Don't quote me on that, but I think that's who took it. And oh, come on, Leo is so good in this film. This is a slice of life. This is a very small film. It feels very independent. You know, it's a movie about a lot of things. It's a movie about, you know, just. I mean, even on the back of the DVD, it says life is a terrible thing to go through. So, you know, it's a very simple film, but a very, very powerful film. Juliette Davis, right? That's her. Juliette Davis or Daniels. Juliette Daniels, Juliette Davis, something like that. I'm sorry, I'm butchering her name, forgetting it, but she's great in it as well. The lady who played the mother, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, she's great. Spit on the mic. What would a live stream be without me spitting on the mic? But yeah, this movie is just so good. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. It's just, it gets me every single time. If you've seen this film, you know what I'm talking about. It is very emotional. At the very end of the film, very emotional. But yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio, he is the reason why this film is so high. I think if you get rid of that character, if you get rid of Arnie, I don't know. He's the driving force of this film. So that is my favorite film from 1993. Here we go, guys. We're into a big year for this one, and then after this one, I'm going to check the live live chat. 1994, a big year. And I have not seen every film from 1994, so don't hold this one against me. But again, when I was going through every film that came out that year, I was thinking, all right, because I saw the one that is listed, that's going to pop up here. I saw it and I was like, okay, is anything going to top this? And it did, and it didn't. Now, this is not the best film of 1994. It's not, but it is my favorite, and it is super rewatchable. So intense. It is Speed from 1994. Oh man, this is one of the greatest action films of all time. Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Dennis Hopper, Jeff Daniels, Joe Morton. Oh my gosh, the list just goes on and on. So many great actors in this film. Keanu Reeves is really good in this, character of Jack. I just love the premise of it. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies that it's fun to tell someone if they've never seen it, right? If you ask them, hey, have you ever seen Speed? And they're like, no, I've done Speed, but I haven't seen Speed. You're like, okay, well, first of all, you need to clear yourself up. You need to go to a doctor. If you need help, go to a therapist. Second of all, what you need to do is you need to sit down and hear me out. This film, and then it's so fun to just tell them what it's about without giving anything away. There's a bomb on a bus. If that bus goes over 50 miles an hour, which, I mean, eventually it will, it's going to set the bomb to, turn on. It's going to turn on the bomb. And then if that bus at any point slows down under 50, the bus blows up, killing everyone on board. If you don't get on board for that premise, then I don't know anything that, I don't think you can be saved in life, because it's so good. It's so, oh my gosh. And something, if you've never seen the film, the opening to this film is, how do I say this? The opening to this film, it's sort of is the word a MacGuffin? No, I don't think it's a MacGuffin. It makes you think like the opening of the film is what's going to take place throughout the entire film. And that's just a setup. That's just a setup for the character of Dennis Hopper. That's not the actual thing that actually takes place and is the whole point of the movie. You know what I mean? But when I remember watching this movie for the first time and I was like, I thought this takes place on a bus. Is that the sequel? Because the opening of this film takes place in an elevator. But it's such a great setup to the character. Everybody in this film kills it, really does. And action piece after action piece after action piece. And mostly all practical as far as I know. I think there's very little CGI involved in this film, so it gets double the points for that, and it just has such a great score. Bump a dump bump bump a dump dump. Bump a dump dump bump a dump dump. So good. It's so 90s. I love it. So that is my favorite film from 1994. What's going on in the chat room? Let's see what's going on over here. So I think switching it to 5, I don't know if that necessarily works for some people, because clearly, I mean, I'm not saying the fact that you and I are an Aaron in the chat room, but I mean, no one else is tuned in. That's totally fine. I knew that some people probably weren't going to be able to tune in because I had to push it forward, but hey, whatever. We're going to roll with it. So let's see here. Palmer says, I'll have to start my list in 2002. Okay, so Aaron was born in 2002. Palmer's 2001. All right, so you guys, yeah. I got a little, I got some years on you. I'm fixing my letterbox list. I've watched a lot of 2000s films after I made the list, and it needed thing. Lewis, thank you. Okay, so I was really off on that one. Thank you, Palmer. My mom watched Gilbert Grape recently without me. I haven't seen it before, but I really want to. She liked it though. Yeah, you almost could say it is in line with what like a Lifetime movie is, but hold on, because I know that when I said that, I might have lost somebody. It's not a Lifetime movie. Like, it is what Lifetime wants to be, and Lifetime movies are not. But you know what I mean? It's so simple. It's very casual. It's very calm, cool, and collected. It's just a little slice of life film that makes a big impact. And it's again, it's Leonardo DiCaprio's best performance. A red herring. Yeah, maybe it's a red herring. Maybe that's what I'm looking for. A red herring. It just makes you think it's going to be this, and then it's actually not. That's just the setup for that character. I love it though. It's genius. So that is that, guys. Obviously, Palmer, Aaron, anyone else watching that catches this during this or afterwards, let me know what your favorite films are if you've seen any from those years. But we're gonna roll right on into 1995, and this one I'm really excited to share with you guys. 1995, my favorite film from '95 is Richard Linklater's Before Sunrise. If you guys know me, my favorite film trilogy of all time is the Before trilogy. And oh God, look how like romantic they are. Look at them. They're so in love. They're so in love. But this is this is similar to Gilbert Grape. It's a very casual film. There's a lot of long takes in this film. I mean, some would argue there's even no plot in this film, and I think that's intentional. It's just this is it's as real to real life as you can get without it being a documentary, or you know what I mean. It's as real as it's going to get, and it's so beautiful how this story plays out. Of course, when they made the film, I don't know that they were thinking to continue it on with 2 and 3, but the fact that we know there is a 2 and a 3, I don't know. Does it take away from the experience? Because I wonder if you watch this film, maybe it's actually more powerful if you don't know that there's a trilogy. If you just think it's this one film called Before Sunrise, where these two people randomly meet and spend the night together walking the streets of, I think it's Paris? I think they're in Paris or Vienna, something like that. It could be the same thing, or it could be like Orlando, Florida. I don't know. But they spend the night walking the streets and just talking and just getting to know each other. I mean, if you are like if you want an action-packed movie, this is not it. It's just dialogue heavy, and it's just great. You know, I'm a hopeless. I mean, I am kind of helpless. I'm a hopeless romantic, and the stuff just is the stuff that I eat up. And but I do think if you just go into this film not knowing there's a 2 and a 3, the way it ends, it's sort of like, damn. And then I think you do want. I think that's the beauty of it. By the end of this film, you're like, oh, come on, please tell me there's more. Please tell me we see more of this story. And luckily, we do in Before Sunset and Before Midnight, which may or may not be on this list. So that is 1995, Richard Linklater's Before Sunrise. 1996. Oh boy, 1996. I had a couple that I had to go back and forth on, and I ended up on this film because it's just incredibly powerful, and it is Billy Bob Thornton's Sling Blade. And I do say Billy Bob Thornton's because he writes, directs, and stars in this film. Yes, Billy Bob Thornton from Armageddon and Fargo, the television series, and Bad Santa, and all that stuff. Bad News Bears, all that shit. This is his best performance. I mean, he literally vanishes in this role of this character that is he definitely is suffering from some mental troubles going on up here. He kind of talks like this, and he does that a lot. I think in this movie, I have this sort of like joke with one of my friends in life. We'll just like randomly say to each other, "You got a purty mouth." I think he says that in this film. You've got a purty mouth. I don't want to tell you guys what it's about. I think this is one of those movies where if you just go into it not knowing anything about it, I think you're going to love it. I think it's so good. I mean, again, it's a very casual film. I don't know. I like all kinds of films, but I really do. The simpler, the better when it comes to me. You know what I mean? Like the simpler, the better. And I'm not saying I don't like movies that make you think or are multi-layered, because I do. But I think I gravitate a little more towards movies that just kind of tell their story and then end, and then now you kind of just figure out what it was. You know what I mean? So this is Sling Blade. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. And Billy Bob Thornton just knocks it out of the park. The kid that is in Tokyo Drift, Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift, like the main character of that movie. I think this is his first film. So yeah, just a fun little tidbit there. But yeah, he wrote and directed this movie, and I think did he win? I know he got nominated for Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars that year. So I don't know if he won though, but highly recommend that film. It's a powerhouse of a film. 1997. I don't think this is a shocker for anyone that is watching. 1997. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one. Titanic. I mean, 1997 belongs to Titanic, right? There's a lot of good movies in 97, but Jesus, I mean, Titanic just swept it. And it's the only James Cameron, spoiler alert, the only James Cameron film on this list. But I had to make sure one was on there because I only had 3 that I could choose from, right? I can only choose from True Lies, Titanic, or Avatar. So I choose Titanic. I definitely choose Titanic. It's one of the greatest love stories of all time. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. It's timeless. It's never going to get old. And it ages really well. It actually ages really, really well. Especially those CGI effects with the ship sinking and Jesus. Oh, so good. So good. I saw this movie in theaters back when they released it in 3D in 2012. That was my first experience watching it. I think I watched it like 3 times because I could watch this movie over and over. And it's 3 hours long. I could watch it over and over again. I got where is it? Right back here. I did a live stream the other day where I opened a bunch of packages, and that's my latest edition of Titanic that I added to the collection. So it's Titanic. My heart will go on, and this movie will go on. So that's 97. We're going to take a swig of this smoothie, check the chat room, and we're going to continue, guys. Again, we're not taking a break because there's just way too much we got to talk about. So here we go. Good old smoothies. Let's see here. What do we got? My 95 favorite is Fallen Angels. I have never heard of that film. Wow. I am actually very bad when it comes to, because that sounds like it's a foreign language kind of film, or maybe like just made by a foreign language director. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to like foreign language cinema, I really suck. Like I'm not cultured at all. Partly because I don't like subtitles. So if a movie is foreign language and doesn't have an English dubbed over version, more than likely I'm not going to watch it. And it sucks because I know I'm probably missing a lot, but yeah, I don't know. I'm spoiled. Palmer, 95 is a great year, maybe a little overshadowed by the year prior, but I actually find more to like in it. That's a good, that's a great statement. That's a great statement because yeah, 94 just, everyone points to 94. Heat is also very great. I still got to watch Heat. Same on both counts. The Before Trilogy Criterion set is beautiful. It is. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. The custom artwork that was done for it, and the transfers, especially because I think Before Sunrise was never on Blu-ray. So that was the first time it was on Blu-ray. 96 is The Hunchback of Notre Dame. But my second choice, Matilda, directed by the GOAT, Danny DeVito. Wow. Yeah, The Hunchback. That's a dark Disney film. And Matilda, that's really good. I can't say I considered either one of those for 96, but if I had to choose out of which one I'd watch, I would probably Matilda. Matilda's great. Anytime I hear that song, on my way, on my way, I just think of her making pancakes. My first time hearing of Sling Blade, says Palmer. Yeah, dude, Sling Blade. 96 Boogie Nights. Why am I not surprised? You love some PTA. I would argue that Boogie Nights, in fact, owns 97. Ooh, Boogie Nights is Titanic. Okay, well, there are arguments that you could come up with, but I mean, one of the biggest ones is box office, and I know box office doesn't necessarily make for a great film, but if we're doing box office, Titanic owns 1997, and it owns every film up until Avatar. And Avatar gets owned by Endgame, but we're not talking about that. Yeah, absolutely love Fallen Angels, a personal favorite. Okay, interesting. Fallen Angels. Is it Angels or Angles? Okay. It's Fallen Angels. I just think you put an L there instead. Fallen Angels. Interesting. A personal favorite. All right. So want to make sure I don't lose track of what year we're on. All right, we're on here. We're on 1998. This was an easy one. This one, because there's a few years where I'm just like, it doesn't matter. Like, I could just instantly put it. And this is one of those years. 1998. It's The Truman Show. The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. You could say this is his best performance, though I don't know. I think he's actually... It's either this or Eternal Sunshine. Those are the two I think that a lot of people go to. I would actually argue Sonic the Hedgehog. No, I'm just kidding. The Truman Show or Eternal Sunshine, but we're talking about The Truman Show. The Truman Show, Jesus Christ. I mean, you talk about film experiences that just last with you, right? Movie experiences that maybe define you in a way. Movie experiences that just, and you think of that first time you watched it, it's, whoa, it just blew you away. I was in high school in my drama class, and this is the first time I watched it. And I loved it so much. I thought every single piece and bit and scene of this film was just genius. I mean, this is something that, every once in a while I think, am I living The Truman Show? It's just one of those movies that get you pondering. It's a very deep film. So this is very polar opposite of what I was talking about earlier, where I like my films to be kind of simple. This movie's not simple. This movie is actually very layered in terms of what it does to the viewer at the end. And you're just kind of left there in your seat just going, whoa, what if everything is a lie? What if? I mean, think about it. What if everything's a lie? It's so scary. But anyways, it's not presented in like a horror kind of way. If you've never seen The Truman Show, it is basically just about a guy who is not living an actual life. He's the star of a reality show called The Truman Show, and he doesn't know it, but everyone around him is an actor in on it, and so good. But when he starts to find out and piece it together, that's of course where the Jim Carrey-isms come in, and the ending, ooh, that ending. And Ed Harris, really good in this film. Ed Harris, shout out to Paul Denuzio. If you're watching live or after the fact, man, I know you love some Ed Harris. I think this is my favorite Ed Harris role as the creator. So that is 97. No, 98. Jesus. See, I'm losing track. I should have wrote the year as well. 1998. Now, 1999, again, this is a big year, stacked year in terms of film. Some would argue even more impressive than 1994. 1999 is, I mean, they really rounded out the 90s in style. So kudos to them. And I went through and I pondered back and forth, I think between 4 films. It was 1, 3, and 4. And I was like, God, oh man. I didn't like taking some of these off. I really didn't. Hated taking some of them off. But I had to, because I don't do those honorable mentions. That's no honorable mentions here. So my favorite film from 1999 is Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. I love me Kubrick, clearly. I love Kubrick. And this is actually always battling this shirt, The Shining, as my favorite Kubrick film. Eyes Wide Shut is just, I've talked about it because I did my top 10 Tom Cruise films, and it's number 2 on that list. And it's just, it's like watching a dream. It's like watching a dream. That's all I can say. It's like watching a dream and not knowing what's real, what's not real. And it's one of the most sexual films without a lot of sex. It's one of the most sexual films I've ever seen, and there's very little sex in it. It's just so good, and it's one of Tom Cruise's, I think, most underrated performances. I think a lot of people just argue the fact that he's not that impressive in this film, and yes, he is overshadowed by Magnolia. Let's be real, Magnolia is the standout performance out of the 2 that he gave in 1999. But Eyes Wide Shut, and Aaron, you got to get on it. And watch the unrated version. Do not watch the rated R version because you're going to get Warner Brothers fucking around. So, Eyes Wide Shut, Stanley Kubrick's last film, possibly not finished, or not even possibly, wasn't finished. But I feel like what we got, I'm okay with. That honestly, that adds to some of the mystique of this film. The fact that, he wasn't done editing the film or putting it together, and then he just died. So I don't know. It adds a little mystique to it for me personally. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. Excuse my breathing there. I haven't seen as many 90s films as I thought I did. My favorite 98 is A Bug's Life. Ooh, Pixar taking it for 1998. What did drama class specifically have you watching The Truman Show for? It was just my teacher at the time, Ed Cachergo, was. I don't remember what the actual purpose was, because I know that he had some purpose for it, like to maybe point out something, but I don't remember that much because that was a while ago. But I do remember that he was just like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch The Truman Show," and I was like, "The Truman Show, The Truman Show," and never saw it prior. We did it was weird. He showed two films because I think that is one of those years where two movies came out, or there might have been more movies, but that was the year where The Truman Show and Ed TV, Ed ED TV with Matthew McConaughey, I think that came out in the same year, and they're almost essentially the same kind of film where it revolves around filming and reality shows, and I think the difference with Ed TV is he knows it's a reality show. I think. Don't hold me to that. That one I wasn't big on that film. But yeah, so we watched both of those. I think we watched Ed TV first, and then we watched The Truman Show. 99 is totally guessable. Magnolia, yes. But hey, at least we both have a Tom Cruise movie in our 1999 slot. Yeah. Magnolia was one of them. Magnolia, I can tell you the four that I pondered. It was Magnolia, The Matrix, and The Blair Witch Project. Those were the four films. Blair Witch came off first, but I do love The Blair Witch Project. I think it's one of the greatest horror films of all time. And then it was down to Magnolia, Eyes Wide Shut, and The Matrix. And then I think I took off Magnolia next, and then The Matrix. I just love Eyes Wide Shut. So when you watch it, try to be as unbiased as possible. I'm not saying it's going to replace Magnolia, but don't let the fact that you love Magnolia so much hinder your viewing of Eyes Wide Shut. You have to go into it and know that it's two totally different Tom Cruise 1999 roles. So, but I think you'll really, really enjoy it. All right, let's go into 2000. Now we're getting into your guys' years. So 2000 belongs to Wilson. Yeah, Robert Zemeckis' Castaway. This is you talk about a role that you need to have some screen presence to carry with. Tom Hanks delivers in Castaway. Helen Hunt, though, she is equally as great in the beginning and end parts of the film as the bookends for this incredible story of just survival. I do love a good survival story. And Castaway could potentially be the ultimate in cinema. So good. I think a lot of people have seen Castaway. I think it's just one of those movies that it's just sort of like required viewing for life. Like you have to see it. And if you haven't seen it, then you're not living. It's so good. I feel bad because I feel like I don't add a whole lot to the discussion. I'm just like, yeah, it's so good. So good. Oh, that scene. So good. If I have to add something, I will say that the scene where he has that rotting tooth and he has to take it out and he grabs the ice skate and he holds it up to his mouth and he takes a rock and he smashes the ice skate against the bad tooth and pops it out. Ooh, you talk about a scene that just saying it out loud gave me the willies. And yeah. So there's my little 2 cents for Castaway because there's nothing I can add to it. It's just one of the greatest movies of all time. There we go. I said it. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. And the fun tidbit is the fact that so they took a break during filming this movie, Robert Zemeckis and his team, because they needed Hanks to lose weight. I think he even actually grew out that beard, right? So, after that time lapse of him being on the island for however long, he needed to actually do all that stuff. So they went off the same crew, Robert Zemeckis, went off and they did another movie here called What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. And then after that was done, they came back and they finished Castaway. So, in case you didn't know that, that is what happened. But yeah, Castaway is 2000's best film, my favorite film. I won't say best, but my favorite film from 2000. Getting into 2001 is this one right here, AI, artificial intelligence, from Mr. Steven Spielberg. There are 2 Spielbergs on this list, just so you guys know. And AI, artificial intelligence, is one of his most people don't talk a lot about AI. And this is actually an unfinished Kubrick project. He was working with Spielberg on this and then died. But he does get a credit on this because this is something that Stanley Kubrick was really, really passionate about and wanting to tell this story. And Jude Law and Haley Joel Osment. I think Haley Joel Osment is better in this film than he was in The Sixth Sense. Bold statement, I know. But I think he's so good as the little boy robot. And, oh, man, oh, man. Just hits you right in the feels, But yeah, AI, artificial intelligence, definitely something you guys need to watch if you haven't. That's definitely for sure. Because, again, don't go into it knowing. I mean, clearly you know it's about artificial intelligence, but just that's it. AI, artificial intelligence. Oh, hey, honey, you want to watch a movie tonight? Yeah, what do you want to watch? Oh, I don't know. You want to watch AI, artificial intelligence? Yeah, pop it in. And then pop that bitch. So here we go, guys. That is 2001, right? Yeah, 2001. 2002. This is another one where I was just like, there's no movie that's going to top this movie for me. And I don't think a lot of people would necessarily pick this one, but it has to be Robin Williams' best performance in 1 hour photo. I remember the trailer for the movie so vividly. I also remember going into Blockbuster in town here, and I remember seeing the wall, right? The new release wall. And this wall was covered. And like this poster right here, this thing right here, it's good. It's creepy, right? It's actually a really decent looking poster. But I much prefer the poster where it almost looks like a screen capture where he's holding the film strip up and he's looking up at it. I think that's the best still image used for the promotion of 1 hour photo. Geez, I mean, Robin Williams, he disappears. And again, this is similar to What's Eating Gilbert Grape. The movie's good. The movie's actually really good. But if it's Robin Williams that makes this movie incredible, right? So it goes from good to incredible. Because I think if you had an actor that couldn't necessarily do this role, and I think it helps that it was Robin Williams because he really played. I don't think he ever played against type as much as he did in this film, because this is not Robin Williams. This is not the genie. This is not Mrs. Doubtfire. This is not Flubber, whatever. This is Cy, Cy the photo guy. And he develops photos for this family. He gets obsessed with them, starts to feel like he's part of the family, and then shit starts to go south. And, oh, Jesus Christ. It's like, this is something that, it's a bold statement, but I think this is something along the lines of Hitchcock. I think it's something along the lines of a modern Hitchcock film. I know it's one of those reviews that a lot of people throw around. The best film Hitchcock never made. I think this could be it. I think this could be a contender. That's not even Marlon Brando. But yeah, I think this could be the contender for the best film that Hitchcock never made. Mark Romanek knocked it out of the park. Written and directed by Mark Romanek. So, 1 hour photo. That year, 2002, Williams slayed with 1 hour photo, Insomnia from Christopher Nolan, and Death to Smoochie from the GOAT, Danny DeVito, which is that's a really good movie, Death to Smoochie. But let's see, what are you guys talking about? You and Palmer, you guys are holding the fort down. Thank you guys for tuning in. Aaron says, my 2000 is American Psycho. I do love me some Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, though? American Psycho. Ooh, yeah. Patrick Bateman. Good old American Psycho. That's a solid film right there. I've never seen Castaway. You've never seen Castaway? Palmer, please tell me you've passed away. 2001 is in with my favorite film, probably Mulholland Drive. Like favorite film in general, or just favorite film from that year. Mulholland Drive, David Lynch. Yep, I definitely I have it over in the collection. I gotta watch it. 2001 is Spirited Away from Studio Ghibli. I also know Palmer's 2001 pick. I still have to watch Mulholland Drive again because I gave it a 7 out of 10. 2002 is where I officially come in. Punch Drunk Love, no brainer. Ooh, okay. So you do love Punch Drunk Love. Interesting, because I don't know why I thought you maybe didn't like it as much. Because I know like a lot of people don't think that's Paul Thomas Anderson's necessarily strongest. It's my second favorite, right? So there's Magnolia and then Punch Drunk Love. Adam Sandler. Whew, man. Yeah. 2002, there was, but then again, there was 1 Hour Photo. But Punch Drunk Love definitely would have been, if I had 5 from each year, Punch Drunk Love is definitely for my 2002. 2003, this is again, this is like another one where I was like, nothing's going to top this movie. 2003 belongs to The Room. Let's be real. 100, and this isn't, this is, I love The Room. I really love The Room. I've seen it so many times. Look at that poster. Ooh, dude, calm down, man. Smile. Maybe you should smile, and then maybe your life wouldn't be so shitty. But yeah, Tommy Wiseau, man. Tommy Wiseau. Just look at that face. Oh, I could not even duplicate that face if I wanted to. Hold on, let me see if I can replicate this face. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta work around this microphone. No, I can't because his left eye is so droopy. Can't do it. I don't know what he did, like what kind of drugs he was taking to get this photo image. But anyways, The Room is considered potentially maybe the worst film of all time. But I think it's one of the most memorable movies of all time because I mean, Jesus, this movie is so quotable. Yeah, I even went to a screening of this film where people went to a movie theater. Can you believe that? There was a time when people went to a movie theater. But yeah, people went to the movie theater and they didn't do the traditions that I hear about because this movie has some weird ass traditions of people like throwing spoons at the screen every time there's a spoon or something. That didn't happen at this one, but it was definitely an experience. It was definitely an experience. I'll say that much. And yeah, this movie, The Room. Ooh, man. The Room. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. I mean, that's the most popular one, right? Or you're tearing apart, Lisa. That's another really popular one. Or oh, hi, doggy. Oh, hey, Johnny. I didn't know that was you. Yep, it's me. What the fuck is going on here? Yeah, The Room is top-notch entertainment. Definitely, 100%. 2004 belongs to, no surprise, the sequel to Before Sunrise, Before Sunset. And Before Sunset is my favorite of the three. This is for a bunch of reasons. Not because it's short, but it is the shortest film of the three. It's a very quick film. It's like an hour and 20, maybe even less. And it's a movie that deals with second chances. And that premise, that idea, is one of my favorites. I love it. And what if you had another chance, right? Because we've all been there, I think. We've all been there. And if you haven't been there yet, you will be there. We've all wanted a second chance, whether it was with someone or something or whatever. And this movie, portrays it so well. It's and I love, out of all the endings to films, this is my favorite ending to one of the Before films. Just the way it ends. Ooh, yeah, it's a great ending. So Before Sunset, it's really, really good. It takes place 10 years after the first one. I think every film takes place 10 years, right? So that's really cool. But Before Sunset is, and Julie Delpy. Ooh, I mean, you fall in love with her in the first one, but man, you fall in love with her. I think she's the best in Before Sunset. Ethan Hawke is good, but Julie Delpy is really, I think, a standout of these films. Celine, she's the one I care more about. Let's just put it that way. So that is Before Sunset. One more, and then we're gonna take a take a little peek at the chat room. So that is 2005. 2005 was a dry year for me. I don't know about you guys, but man, 2005, I was looking, I was like, oh man, Jesus, I don't think I've seen a lot of these movies. And so I had to pick one that I don't even necessarily know is going to stay as my favorite. I think this is maybe the most changeable one, and that is going to be King Kong from Peter Jackson. I mean, this is how you do a remake, right? This is how you do, well, technically, because King Kong had been remade once before. So you have the original 30s one, right? And then you have that movie that came out in the 70s with Jeff Bridges, I think. And then you have this one. So this is technically, I think, the second remake. And this is the best King Kong. I do like Kong Skull Island, the one that came out a couple of years ago, but this is my favorite version of King Kong. This is Jack Black, Naomi. Jesus, what? Oh man, I'm blanking on her name. Naomi Campbell? No. Naomi Watts. Eddie, come on, man. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Watts. She's so good in this. Adrian Brody. Who else is in this? Oh, who's the guy that plays King Kong? Jesus. I'm telling you guys, do a live stream and you'll see that your mind just blanks. Oh man, he does all the motion. Andy Serkis. Thank you. Andy Serkis does the motion capture of Kong. I mean, some of the effects now are like, they were really impressive for a while, and now I think if you watch it, you can really kind of pinpoint some of the weaknesses of the effects. But man, this is an epic. This is an old-fashioned epic done in 2005. And it's a 3-hour film, and I remember watching this movie in theaters and loving every second of it. I also remember playing the video game of this film the day my niece, Kaylee, was born. I remember playing it vividly, and then they were like, come on, we got to go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, but I want to keep playing. I just want to keep shooting these like creatures that are crawling up at me. But yeah, so weird memories, but I love this film. My favorite part of this film, I have a lot of favorite parts, but I think my favorite part might be just the beginning of the film where we're introduced to all the characters. You know, Jack Black sitting in that room with all the producers, right? And he's just kind of biting his nails. Oh man, just like those little tiny moments I love about this film. And then of course the epic moments, right? It's that part where they fall down into that giant trench and all those like giant insects are just eating them apart. And oh God, man, good stuff. Really, really good stuff. So that is 2005. What's going on in the chat room? How you guys doing? 2003 is Park Chan, Old Boy. Interesting. 2003 is Old Boy all the way. When did that remake come out with Josh Brolin? Is that like 2010 or something? It's the eyes that make it. It's the eyes that make it. Oh, you're talking about The Room. No drugs needed. Just be Tommy Wiseau. Yeah, that dude's some on. That dude's on some other level that no one can attain. 2004 is Eternal Sunshine. Ooh, yes. That's a phenomenal film. 2005 for me is Just Robots. 2000 pretty dry. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Robots with Robin Williams. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. 2005 was weird. I was like, oh, Jesus. King Kong. We'll go with King Kong. I do like it though. I really do like King Kong. Alrighty, 2006. This is a big one. Maybe a little controversial. I don't know, but that is Christopher Nolan's The Prestige. This is my favorite Christopher Nolan film. It's a controversial statement for sure. But sorry, I'm picking little bits and pieces of my monster trail mix. You can feel them. I promise that was the smoothie. The Prestige. This is a mind fuck of a film. Okay, so this is a movie that is it on the Blu-ray? It's somewhere. One of the reviews is like you need to watch it again the second it's over, or you feel compelled to watch it again the second it's over, and you do. You really, really do. And again, I don't know why we were watching this, but we watched this in drama class as well. This was my first experience of watching The Prestige. Was in that same drama class in high school, and man, I just remember, and I still don't even necessarily know if I understand everything that happens in this film to this day. There's so many theories, there's so many speculations. It's again, it's one of those years where 2 movies about magicians came out. You had this and you had The Illusionist with Edward Norton. This is far and away the superior film. Christian Bale, Scarlett Johansson, Rebecca Hall, David Bowie is in this film. as Tesla. Oh man, it's so good. Rival magicians. I just love the concept of rival magicians, and I think this is the best film about magic that's ever been made. Um, can everything that's done, or can everything that's shown in this film be done in real life? You know, when it comes to magic and magicians, and I might do a stream about magic, and I'm talking about like the art, not the card game. Um, you know, when it comes to magicians, we're really, and I say were because at one point I was a professional magician. I was paid to do magic at random places and gigs and stuff like that. So I do have that credit on my resume. Magicians are very picky about the way magicians are presented in film, or a lot of them are. And one of the biggest complaints is when you watch the film as a magician, you're thinking to yourself, okay, is this something that could actually be done? Whether it's on stage, whether it's outside, whether it's whatever. And if it can't be done, usually magicians hold that against the film. I don't necessarily do that because it's a movie. It's a movie, okay? It's a movie. You have to just kind of have a little bit of, you know, disbelief, right? So I don't know, but I love this movie. So good, so dark, so twisted. I think this is a movie that would have really benefited from a rated R. You know what I mean? Because 13, so I would have loved to have seen like a rated R version of this movie. But that is 2006. 2007 was another year for me that I was just sort of like, all right, I think I'll choose this one because I do like this movie. I actually really like it. Like the whole concept of it. I love apocalyptic movies, and we are of course talking about Will Smith's vehicle, I Am Legend, from a story by Richard Matheson. I love post-apocalyptic movies. I really do. And Will Smith is so good in this movie. This is in my top 5 Will Smith films. I mean, it's so good. It just really is so good. I love, and again, this is another movie where it's sort of like a lot of the film is hinged on, can Will Smith be compelling enough? And absolutely he can. It's Will Smith. The CGI is a little dated. Some of those, what are they, vampires or something? They don't look too good anymore. Other than that, I don't have any like major complaints with the film. I know there's 2 different endings you can watch, and I think I prefer the ending where he dies. There's an ending where he lives, and there's an ending where he dies. I think I like the ending where he dies, just because I like to go against expectations. So, and not every film can end happy. So that is I Am Legend. I'm going to harp on this one too long because I don't think there's a lot to say about it because 2007 was a weird year. So that is my choice for 2007. 2008, I do remember I had a film, right? And just a couple days ago, I took that film off because I remembered, oh, wait, hold on. The film came out in 2009, and it technically did, but on like Letterboxd and IMDb, it says 2008 because I think it was premiered at Toronto International Film Festival or whatever. And it's weird how we kind of point when a movie came out because yeah, there's the festival circuit and then there's the actual release. So it's weird, but I guess technically this is a 2008 film. So number 3, because the third of this director's films on this list. And it's a movie I don't think a lot of people have seen. It's called Me and Orson Welles from Richard Linklater, the guy who Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, the Before trilogy. Yeah, I love me some Richard Linklater. I really do love Richard Linklater. And this is one of his underrated ones. This is one that just passed so many people. You got Christian McKay playing Orson Welles. You got Claire Danes. You got Zac Efron. And he's actually pretty good in this one. He's not, just banking on the fact that he's Zac Efron. He actually does good in this film. He's not great or anything, but it is Christian McKay as Orson Welles, who does a spot on Orson Welles. Good. And it's not even about when he was making films. This is before he made films. This is about his time in the theater. So we also watched this in drama class. This one made sense though, right? This one makes sense. So Me and Orson Welles taking a sip for Zac Efron. You guys ever do that? Rub your hands together and just see if like, oh, I hate that feeling, but I'm addicted to it as well. It's weird. What am I doing? This is a movie talk. I'm not talking about rubbing my hands together. Me and Orson Welles. Awesome film. Awesome film. It's not even based on a true story because I don't think this has actually happened. But they do incorporate Orson Welles into it. So that is my 2008. 2008. This next one, I was really excited because recently I did a podcast that has not come out yet. It will be coming out soon with a friend of mine. His name is Richard Eric Jarvie. He is in Estonia, all the way across the pond. And we did a podcast, and towards the end of it, we were talking, movies, and because he hosts a podcast called Class Action, and we talked about this film, and he told me, or no, I told him that I was getting ready to do this stream, and that for 2009, this is the film I was choosing for that year, and this is a movie that I don't think anyone would choose except for a select few. But 2009, my favorite film is The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 with Denzel Washington and John Travolta. I love this movie. I love this movie so much. And I am putting aside my Scientology gripes. John Travolta versus Denzel Washington. Watch the trailer for this film. Go on YouTube, type in The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, the official trailer. It is so good. It is so action-packed. This movie, again, if you take out John Travolta, right, if you replace him with someone else, it loses a lot of what makes this film great. John Travolta makes this film incredible. He plays a character named Ryder who hijacks the New York City subway, like one of the cars, and holds the people on board hostage. It's a remake of a 70s film, I think, and every other word is fuck. So if you don't like the word fuck, don't watch The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. And he goes overboard in the best way possible. It's one of the most over the top performances from John Travolta, and he's so good. And just look, he's got the handlebars. Denzel's really good too. He's like they are a perfect yin to the yang. You know what I mean? And it is yin to the yang, not yin to the yang. I think a lot of people think it's yin to the yang. No, it's yin to the yang. I did my research on that one, I think. But yeah, it's so good. I want to watch this movie now. Oh, I love it so much. Oh, what does he say? Open the door, do an hour, I'll fucking kill you. Oh my God. Oh, every he says fuck, he just goes up into that higher, kind of, oh, Sandy. He just kind of goes up into the, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That's so good. So good. Please watch The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. It's really. Now we're into the films of the 2010. We're really kind of rounding this thing out here, and we're gonna power through these because I don't want to keep going back and forth between, because if you use OBS, you know what I'm talking about. You have to keep scrolling up and hitting the next scene, and so we're just gonna go to 2010, which belongs to 2000. 127 hours. Sorry, I know I said 2010 twice. 127 hours. This is, for the longest time, this was my favorite film of all time. For the longest time. James Franco is incredible. This is a true life story. This could battle Castaway as the greatest survival story of all time. And maybe actually wins because it is true. Castaway is fictional. This is true. This is based on a real story. Inspiring, motivational, everything. Danny Boyle directed this movie. I love it so much. I love it so much. And again, it hinges on James Franco's ability to hold the screen, and he does. And there's a scene where he does like a 3 or 4 minute monologue just talking to himself, but he plays two different characters. He plays the interviewer and the interviewee. And man, that's a powerhouse acting lesson right there. I remember my drama teacher highlighted that part of the film. He was like, you got to watch that part of the film. That is how you do acting. That's how you act right there. So that is 2010. 2011 belongs to Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive with Ryan Gosling. Movie that I had I knew zero about it. I knew it involved some stuntman driving cars, but man, it has nothing really to do with that. That's just his day job. And this movie just takes you by surprise and got a great score, very 80s feel to it. So if you love the 80s kind of vibe, this is your movie. And Ryan Gosling's great. Ryan, there's actually another Ryan Gosling coming up here very, very soon. But Drive is my favorite Nicholas Winding Refn film. Absolutely. I really do like Only God Forgives as well, but Drive is where it's at. 2012, though, belongs to Safety Not Guaranteed. Maybe my favorite time travel movie. This is a time travel movie that has very little to do with time travel because I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything, but I mean, the whole movie takes place in the present. So maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't. But yeah, it's so good. Aubrey Plaza, Mark Duplass. They are. This is a very independent film. This is from Colin Trevorrow, the guy that did Jurassic World. And I wish he would do something like this again, kind of more low key, because he succeeds. I think this is a very, again, like I said, but no. Did I say my favorite? Because the Terminator. The Terminator is time travel. But this isn't like my top 5 favorite time travel films. Safety Not Guaranteed. You need to watch it. I love it so much. Now, this next one is very, very special to me. That is Spike Jonze's Her, Joaquin Phoenix. And who else do we got here? We got Rooney Mara, his real wife in real life. We got Amy Adams, and that's Olivia Wilde? Is that Olivia Wilde? I think that's Olivia Wilde. I could be wrong. But yeah, this movie, and then Scarlett Johansson, obviously, as the voice of Samantha, right? It's Samantha. Geez, I mean, you talk about a wild premise, a man falling in love with his phone. Good luck selling that to a studio, but man, this movie works, and you believe it. That's how good it is. And Joaquin Phoenix just, oh man. And I'm a hopeless romantic, and Jesus, I mean, you fall in love with an operating system. Think about that. You fall in love with an operating system. What? No, but it works, and you do. I love her. I love her. I love her. 2014 is an incredible film called Whiplash from Damien Chazelle. This is an intense ass study. J.K. Simmons won Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars that year, and rightfully so. Miles Teller, though, is really good in this film. The drumming, oh my God, the jazz, just everything about this film is this is one of the most intense theater experiences. I remember gripping my seat, and that's something you see in a lot of reviews, and you're like, who does that? Who grips their? You grip your seat, you watch Whiplash for the first time. It's so intense, so good, so inspiring. Just everything. I mean, obviously these movies are good. They're on my list. 2015, Creed. Yeah, you gotta Sylvester Stallone in here. Stallone creeped in here. But it's not even Stallone that is really the good part of this film. He's good. It's Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan. I have not seen Creed 2, though. So, but, and I'm not even big into boxing films. Like, I've seen the first Rocky, but I don't know. I'm not into the whole boxing world. But man, this movie's different. For some reason, this movie just, I remember leaving that theater with a big old smile on my face. I was like, yes, that is my favorite film of 2015. And yeah, I got to see the sequel, but I don't think it's the same director, so I think I'm a little hesitant, but I think it got good reviews as well. Creed, it is part of the Rocky franchise, but it's sort of like a spin-off thing, so you don't even have to have necessarily seen the Rocky films to enjoy this one, and I really enjoy that part about it. So that is 15. 16 belongs to Damien Chazelle's La La Land. Oh man, I think this is the most amount of times I've ever seen one movie in a theater. I think I saw it 6 times in the theaters. I was in love with this movie, the score, the oh man, shout out to my Frankie. Him and I were obsessed with this film, still are obsessed. I know it's just one of my favorite movies of all time, one of my favorite screen couples of all time. Emma Stone is just perfect. Didn't she win the Best Actress Oscar for this one? Good. And let's be real, it should have won Best Picture, even though it did for 5 minutes. Moonlight, now get out of here. I saw Moonlight, get out of here. And I'm not even saying because of the subject, just it's not as good. It's not as good. La La Land should have won Best Picture for more than 5 minutes. But yeah, If you don't love musicals, give this one a watch. I like it. I don't know. I love musicals though. 2017 belongs to Jordan Peele's Get Out. Get Out. Yeah, this is a movie that I knew going in I was probably going to get, mind fucked, and I did. Ooh, Jordan Peele, dude, he just, This is a Twilight Zone episode in a full-length feature film if I ever saw one. Very important film. Just everybody, and Bradley Whitford, the guy, the dad who played Eric in Billy Madison. He's really good. I really like him. But the whole cast is so good. And fun fact, the actor, I forget his name, but the actor that plays the main guy, he actually got this movie because Jordan Peele saw his episode of Black Mirror. And if you haven't seen that episode, oh my God, this dude just kills it in that episode. And so Jordan Peele loved his performance and offered him Get Out because of Black Mirror. So fun little tidbit right there. But yeah, Get Out is very cerebral. You got to think about it. It's layered. It's just stacked. 2018 was a hard one for me because I didn't see a lot of 2018 films. So I had to go with a Spielberg, and that is Ready Player One. This was a fun experience. I saw this with my friend Philly cheesesteak. And it's just a nice nostalgic throwback. You know what I mean? It's so calm. Well, calm. It's so I'm trying to be calm about it. It's so over the top, but it's very believable with the whole Oasis thing that's going on. You know what I mean? It's this is where we are headed probably, with the whole virtual reality and so good. So many cool callbacks. This is a movie that if you just watch it for the callbacks, you're going to have to watch it 5 times to see how many little Easter eggs are sprinkled throughout. But it's a really fun story, it's like a hunt kind of thing. And I had a really fun time with this movie. So that is 2018. And rounding it out, 2019, this is a spoiler, a big shocker to anyone, Joker. 2019 belongs to Joker. This movie, I don't think anyone had any real expectations for this one. Todd Phillips is directing. Joaquin Phoenix is following up Heath Ledger and Jared Leto. But this movie is, I think this is the only comic book movie on this list. And good, because I don't really like a lot of comic book movies, but I loved Joker so much. Saw it 2 or 3 times in theaters. And yeah, blew me away. Just blew me away. So that is my list, guys. Sorry that I had to power through that, but I just wanted to, because there's so many, and I didn't have the chat room up. So let's see what's going on here before we start to slow this thing down and out of here. Let's see here. Ooh, we got some people that joined, so that's awesome. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Going back here. Okay, right here. I think this is where we left off. We don't talk about the American Old Boy. 2006 is Pan's Labyrinth. 2007 is a great year. Ratatouille takes 2007. It says 2007 goes to Hot Fuzz. Torn that Ratatouille, but I'm so torn that Ratatouille and There Will Be Blood was the same year because I really wanted to say There Will Be Blood. I saw There Will Be Blood, and I don't know. Something about that movie just didn't do it. So, yeah, that might be my least favorite PTA. I know, controversial. I know. 2008 goes to Lee. Man, you have a lot of Pixar, don't you? I'm noticing I'm having a lot of animation on here, but my list goes to more live action films in the 2010s. Ooh, and then we got someone new that's never been in the chat room. So you get this honorary. Welcome. Hamza Poole. Hamza. I'm just going to call you Ham. Can I call you Ham? Ham, Orson Welles, such an underrated flick. Thank you. Someone saw it. Aaron says 2009 is Coraline. It was between this and Princess and the Frog. Your 2009 is an Avatar? No. Not. Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Yep. Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. That goes to show you how much I love that movie. It overshadows my favorite director of all time. Eddie, you're going to lose your brand. 2010 is The Social Network. Yeah, I wanted to put The Social Network. That would be number 2. But it really surprised me when I first watched it. I didn't think I'd like the Facebook movie that much. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people it's going to be that good, but yeah, that's an intense movie. Ham says 127 hours should have won over anything that year, especially King's Speech. I agree. Thank you. Favorite film of that year was Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I haven't seen that one, but Edgar Wright. 2009 is Black Dynamite. 2010, Who Killed Captain Alex? Palmer, man, you got your ones in here, man. I really didn't care for Drive, says Aaron. It was so dull. It was dull? You thought it was dull? We must have varying definitions of dull. 2011 is Winnie the Pooh. Okay, you want dull? No, I haven't seen Winnie the Pooh. Sounds dull though. 2011 was a dull year for me though. 2012 is The Master. It's fantastic. Yes, I can't wait to see that one. I cannot see the Master. I almost said Her, but I chose The Wolf of Wall Street for 2013. Yeah, I've seen The Wolf of Wall Street. It's in my Blu-ray collection. Good movie. I even put it on the thumbnail here to kind of throw some people off. Not my favorite. Her. It's her. It's so, oh man, it's God. The Wolf of Wall Street. But it's part of the story. But I watched that movie and left, and I was like, I felt so disgusting. I was like, ugh, humans suck. Let's see here. The 2014 is Birdman. It totally deserved the Best Picture win. Interesting. Yeah, Birdman was really good. Michael Keaton slayed in that one. 2015 is The Hateful Eight. Have not seen it. Ollie, what's going on, dude? Hey, dude. Bit late, but I'm here. Good to have you here, man. We're gonna do the virtual fist bump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now that we got some people. 2016 is also La La Land. Thank you, Aaron. We finally agree. So I think if we were ever have like a movie night, if we pop in a Kubrick, a PTA that's called Magnolia or Punch Drunk Love, or La La Land, I think we're set. 2016 Shin Godzilla, says Palmer. Wow. Are you not a fan? Palmer, are you a fan of the American Godzilla that came out with Elizabeth Olsen and Bryan Cranston? I don't think anyone is. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people didn't like that one, I don't think. 2017 is Good Time by the Safdie brothers. It's also in my top 5 of all time. Wow. Yeah, that's one I got to see. I saw Uncut Gems, but I need to go back and watch Good Time. I almost said Get Out too, but I love Good Time way too much. Interesting. 2018 goes to Black Klansman from Spike Lee. A Spike Lee joint. Good Time is incredible, says Ham. 2000 is Parasite, but it honestly ties with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Lighthouse, all of which I have not seen. But oh man, did you see Joker? Joker. It's good. Yeah, I think more people will appreciate it over time. Not even going to say nothing about Joker. Oh, okay, so I guess you did see Joker. I just noticed that you put Gone Girl on your thumbnail. Is tonight the first time you're seeing it? No, I've seen Gone Girl plenty of times. And again, I just wanted to put that on there to kind of throw people. Yeah, I love Gone Girl. I'm really excited to rewatch that tonight. But yeah, Gone Girl's not on here. And then Ham says 2008 belongs to Tropic Thunder. Yeah, if you go back on my top 10 Tom Cruise films, you'll notice Tropic Thunder is on that list. It's a great Tom Cruise role. Not necessarily my favorite 2008 film. Palmer says 2014 Godzilla is okay. Really forgettable, honestly. Okay. And Aaron says, yeah, Eddie, I saw Joker. Ooh, didn't like it, huh? Hey, Eddie, can I send you my DVD collection photos on Instagram because Facebook's playing up on me? Yeah, absolutely, Ollie. Yeah, send them on Instagram. I will approve because sometimes I have to approve the message. So, but yeah, send them, man. I was waiting. I was like, where are these pictures? So yeah, that's my list, guys. So really quickly, in case you're just now catching the thing here, we're going to really quickly recap. 1992 was Home Alone 2, Lost in Motherfucking New York. 1993 belonged to What's Eating Gilbert Grape. 2004. 1994 belonged to Speed. Did I say 2003 for What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I don't remember. But it was 1993. 95 belongs to Before Sunrise from Richard Linklater. 96 belongs to Sling Blade. 97, come on, let's be real, that's Titanic. 1998 is The Truman Show. 1999, Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. 2000, Robert Zemeckis' Castaway. 2001, Steven Spielberg's AI, Artificial Intelligence. 2002, Mark Romanik's 1 Hour Photo. 2003, Tommy Wiseau's The Room. 2004, Richard Linklater's Before Sunset. 2005, Peter Jackson's King Kong. 2006 was Christopher Nolan's The Prestige. 2007, forgive me, I don't know who the director is. I Am Legend. 2008, Richard Linklater's Me and Orson Welles. 2009, Tony Scott's The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, and 3. And then from 123, we got to Danny Boyle's 127 Hours for 2010. 2011 was Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive. 2012, Colin Trevorrow's Safety Not Guaranteed. 2013, Spike Jonze's Her. 2014, Damien Chazelle's Whiplash. 2015, forgive me. Oh, it's Ryan Coogler, right? Ryan Coogler's Creed. 2016 was Damien Chazelle's La La Land. 17 belonged to Jordan Peele's Get Out. 2018, Steven Spielberg's Ready Player One. And rounding out 2019, Todd Phillips's, is it Phillips's or Phillips? Todd Phillips' Joker. Phillips's Joker. So there we go, guys. That is the entire list. Wow, that was a mouthful to get through that one. Let's see here. Oh wow, I just remembered my collection photos to you. Thank you. Yeah, you and Ollie, you're both guilty. A lot of Cameron films on your list is surprising, except Titanic, of course. Well, yeah, again, I only had the option to choose 3. True Lies for 1994. Nah, I mean, this is good. For 2009, Avatar. Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. But I knew there was going to be Titanic on here, so yeah, I showed my love for Cameron. It would have been really weird if I hadn't had Titanic. That would have been really weird. But to add one more onto your list, what is your most anticipated in 2020 that we're still getting in 2020? So I've only seen, I figured this out, I've only seen one film so far this year, believe it or not, and that was The Invisible Man with Scientology, practicing Elizabeth Moss. Putting that gripe aside, I love the film. I love The Invisible Man from Leigh Whannell. And that's it. That's all I've seen. So my most anticipated, oh geez, what's coming out? I'm really bad with what's coming out. I am looking forward to Tenet. I'm really looking forward to Tenet because I don't know anything about it, but it's Christopher Nolan. I'm not big on Nolan. I've discovered like my top 1 and 2 are the ones that nobody ever lists. My top 1 is The Prestige, and my second favorite Christopher Nolan is Insomnia. So, I mean, I'm just going against the grain. But Christopher Nolan's Tenet looks really good. Jesus, what the fuck else is coming out this year? I don't know. I mean, is anything coming out this year? Yeah, I guess I would have to say Tenet. I'm looking forward to seeing Halloween Kills in October. Ollie, yeah. Dave McRae, yep, yeah, I'm going to see it. I saw 2018's Halloween, but I wasn't very impressed by it. So, but I will watch it. I do like me some. I'm not a diehard fan or anything. I'm a casual viewer, so I don't give a crap the way Dave McRae gives a crap. So yeah, Halloween Kills, I guess, if that does come out this year. Jesus, yeah. I honestly, I could not tell you. Dune? Oh yeah, okay. Denis Villeneuve. Dune, okay. Interesting. Yeah, Tenet. I think Tenet is the one. Dune, yeah, says Palmer. Yep. Are you guys looking forward to Tenet? I'm really looking forward to Tenet. Again, because I have no idea what it's about. Aaron says Tenet is definitely my most anticipated. Very cool. What's before I get going here? What's PTA doing? What's PTA? He like doing another movie? Because I know what his one was Phantom Thread, right, with Daniel Day-Lewis. I was excited for Dune until I saw the cast. I'm still hopeful. Didn't the original Dune, wasn't that David Lynch? I think that was David Lynch. But yeah, what's PTA doing? Because I do need to see The Master. I want to see The Master, and I want to see Boogie Nights. Haven't seen Boogie Nights. And then I do want to see Phantom Thread, I guess. But what's that one that he did with Joaquin, Inherent Vice? That one looked okay. It got polarizing views, but I guess I'll check that one out. But I'm most excited for The Master. That's the one that I'm most excited for. And it's on Netflix. So I have instant access to it. So, but yeah, Aaron, before I round out, what's going on? What's going on with PTA? Do you have any insight? I know you could start a podcast called PTA 101. I don't know if PTA is doing anything that we know. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So you're having some. Uh, does this make sense? You're having some PTA PTSD. No, that doesn't make sense. I'm trying to say that you're having like withdrawals from PTA because he's not doing anything right now, but maybe some PTSD. I don't know. I'm excited for Robert Eggers next. Okay, interesting, interesting. I got to see The Lighthouse. Yeah, I got to see The Lighthouse. I got Inherent Vice for $1 on DVD at the dollar store. Was it worth it, or was it not even worth $1? Yeah, because PTA has such a weird filmography, right? So there's the ones that people love, right? Which would be, I guess, Magnolia, Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood. And then I think there's those ones that people are kind of hit or miss on, which is Punch Drunk Love. I would even say The Master. I would say The Master. I know it got really good reviews, but I feel like people are kind of iffy on The Master, especially Inherent Vice and maybe even Phantom Thread. So Boogie Nights is a must. He's got something in the works, but production was halted for obvious reasons. Okay. PTA is apparently working with Tiffany Haddish. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'm not a big fan of her, but she was just on Bob Saget's podcast. So that's how she's still in my head at the moment. Yeah, he had her on his podcast recently. I haven't seen Inherent Vice, but I've heard barely worth $1. Yeah. That's what I've heard too. Yeah, PTA. Interesting guy. Interesting guy. Well, hey guys, look, I could just keep sitting here and kind of twirling my thumb underneath the camera. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm just playing with my fingers. But I'm not going to because I don't want to waste your guys' time. I got to go eat dinner. I got to get ready to watch Gone Girl. I got to do all this stuff. So it was very fun to, first of all, talk movies with you guys, to have a new watcher, Ham, in the chat room, as well as you guys, Ollie, Palmer, Aaron. You guys are all awesome. The Master is fantastic. Cerebral Emotional. I think I know you'll love it. Awesome. Sweet. Plus, he's doing a lot of music videos. Interesting, says Ham. Yeah, Ham, thank you because you subscribed recently, so thank you for that. I hope you enjoy the content and spread the word about the 101. Also, check out the podcast. I got a lot of episodes of just I think it's interesting content. I have a bunch of different guests. Every episode is a different guest, but then I've started doing new segments where I have 3 other segments of the podcast. So I have the normal episodes, which are the numbered ones where I have a guest on and we talk for however long about anything and everything, literally anything and everything. And then I have solo where it's just me like this in front of the mic talking. And then I also have calling folks where I call people. I call you guys. That's so much fun, so unpredictable. And then I have the voice memos where it's sort of like me giving commentary on random voice memos that I have done with my phone. So that's all on the podcast. All the links are down below. Yeah, PTA's most recent is a Haim music video. I think that's how you say it, Haim. And also Tom York's video. Sorry, the thing is really the text is really small and I don't have my glasses on. Cerebral is a good word for the Master. Interesting. Oh, you guys got me so hyped, especially knowing I'm a Scientology critic. So I'm really looking forward to this. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat room. You guys, I'm putting the chat room to the side so I cannot see it anymore. I can't see it anymore. But you guys rock. I will be back next week for another live stream. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about. I will let you guys know. Follow me on social media at Eddie Greens 101. All those links are down below. So that way you'll know what the next topic is coming up. So until I talk to you guys next time, there's only 3 things. There's only one thing left to say, comprised of 3 words that make up one sentence, and that is